Extreme cold, extreme heat, droughts, and floods are all weather conditions crops this year have had to adjust to in the span of just a few short weeks, in some cases even days. In April alone, we went from 62 degrees with 3/4 of an inch of rain to a high temperature of 40 degrees with a trace amount of snow, back up to 70 degrees in the span of just 3 days.
If it's a gradual, increase, it's okay. But when you go from, 91 day to 70 and all over the board, and rain amounts too. We've seen it in rain situations. It's been a challenge.
Fortunately, many crops have been able to survive, but it wasn't an easy task.
We actually had to cover those up with a protective row cover back early, which first time I've done in 15 years. I've never actually had to do it. We got some cold nights that came in that would have potentially killed the plants.
Need More Acres Farm says despite the odds, their crops are about average sized, only slightly smaller than usual. Some crops have even come up early, like their tomatoes. However, excessive rainfall and a cold snap during their flowering stage prevented the flower from releasing fully, which left some tomatoes with blemishes. Need More Acres also had to harvest their tomatoes at the breaker stage this year, which is when they first start to get coloring, so they ripen inside and aren't watery like they would be if they ripened on the vine with the rainfall we've been having. Overall, though, the tomatoes are thriving in this heat, unlike other crops such as lettuce. So what are the perfect weather conditions to produce the perfect crop?
We actually grow using drip irrigation and on plasticulture techniques. So I enjoy a dry season. That way I can control the amount of water that is put on the crop. During a dry season, you're not going to get a lot of the blemishes and stuff that you might get from rainfall and so forth. Disease potential is going to be a lot less on that plant because you're not going to get splashed back up off the soil. So I'm probably not typical, but a dry season is what I prefer. Not extremely dry, but on the drier side.
Reporting in Bowling Green, Christy Stewart, WNKY News.